It is absolutely massive!
Ever since I was a young lad, I always wanted a T-Rex skull. I could dig one up, but that would be hard. So let's make one. First, we need some inspiration. This one should work. It has a lot of detail and the proportions look good. I am going to 3D print this skull to use as a reference when I carve the foam. We need to scale up the 3D file to a terrifying size. I am making this carving 4 foot long by 3 feet tall. That's 1.2 meters by 1 meter. I'm using Rhino 3D software to scale up my model and slice it into 2-inch sections that we can transfer to paper printouts. Then we can cut them out and trace them onto 2-inch thick pink foam sheets. We need to cut the foam sheets out using a bandsaw and glue them together. I glued them in this pyramid shape to save on foam and carving time. Using some standard shaping tools, we're going to carve out and sculpt the foam using this 3D printed model as a guide. Most of this video is me doing repetitive tasks for many hours. I am going to speed through most of it because it can get very boring. You're welcome. The basic carving of the shape is done. Now we will work on some of the smaller details in the skull. This is where having the small 3D skull really helps. I sculpted two connecting pieces and glued them to the lower jaw. Using the full-scale printouts of the teeth, I traced them onto some dense packing foam. I cut them out on the bandsaw and shaped them on the power sander. Using foam insulation glue, I attached the teeth to the lower and upper jaw. I used a heat gun to melt the surface of the foam to seal it and remove some of the sanding roughness. Be careful using the heat gun in this step. Keep it moving and use a low temperature. If you hold it in one spot too long, you will melt the foam very quickly. We need to connect the two halves of the skull together. Expanding insulation foam makes a great adhesive for the pink foam sheets. As the foam cures, I use thick skewers to pin the foam together. I am placing the skewers in at an angle through both pieces. I did this with all the glue joints on the upper and lower jaw connecting pieces. The skewers hold the foam in position and give the glue joint a stronger connection. I used drywall compound to fill some bad surfaces from the carving. The carving is now complete. We need to protect the foam surfaces before we can paint it. This is a hard protective coating made from a mixture of ceramic tile glue, latex paint, and water. It's mixed to a thick consistency that can be spread onto surfaces with your hands. I am covering the entire surface with an even coat, making sure to cover all the pink foam. Using your hands here is better and faster than a brush or roller. Just make sure to wear protective gloves. Don't rush this, the mortar mix takes a long time to dry. Once coated, use a spray bottle of water and a stiff brush to gently sweep over the surfaces to even out the coating and remove finger marks. Let the coating dry for many hours. Now you have a hard protective surface that you can sand and paint to your desired finish. I'm going to give the surface a light sanding with some 80 grit sandpaper to remove any rough and sharp bits. Sanding is all done. We're going to add some color now. My painting inspiration are T-Rex skeletons from museums. I mixed a large batch of dark brown acrylic paint as a base coat. Using a roller to apply the base coat is much faster than a brush, especially on something this large. The base coat is applied and allowed to dry well before you continue with the rest of the paint job. These are the colors I'm going to use in stages to create an aged bone finish. I'm going to use a technique called dry brushing. You apply a small amount of paint to a brush and wipe most of it off. Then you use a gentle sweeping motion across the surfaces, accenting the high spots. I will continue dry brushing with all the other colors, getting progressively lighter to gradually add highlights and shading. painting is done. I've used 4 different shades of browns to simulate an aged bone surface. I'm going to paint the teeth a little different to accent them. I start with dry brushing black and then move to lighter colors. I think that gives the teeth a bit more character and helps to separate them from the skull's color. That should conclude the paint job on this sculpture. I am happy with the detail and textures. One last step is to lock in all the paint with a protective clear coating. To protect your paint job, I'm using a clear satin finish spray. I'm coating the teeth with a glossy finish for some contrast. And there you have it, a finished T-Rex skull that you can display and use any way you wish. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.